Right, boom, we're gone. Right, right. We're live to YouTube. Let me see. We're there. Hopefully that should be it. We could go through now. Checky 1 2. Let me see. We should be there now. Just double checking that they were live. Right. Technology, man. So how you doing, bro?
I'm good, family man. I'm good, man.
All right.
Just doing a little bit of exercise, keep the body moving.
Okay. Tell us about yourself.
So I'm a hip hop artist and a storyteller, African storyteller, and I travel around into schools delivering motivational workshops through the art of African storytelling. And yeah, started off with hip hop, man. That's the brief intro. I'm sure we'll get deeper into things as time goes.
Yeah. Well, my channel. Let's see if I can get this thing live. Right, we're live.
All right.
Right, double checking. I can see the picture of this brother. Right, we're live. We're live. Right. Right, we're live to YouTube, yeah? Your brethren them can check you on YouTube, Bless Radio 1, yeah?
All right, cool.
Then leave their comment. But because of the quarantine people, enough of the people in the studio, I got to go from computer to computer.
No, I hear you, bro. I hear you.
So I'm not going to go back over there to look what's going on the YouTube channel. Alright, there's too much things that go on. So me and you going to talk the thing, wait for LIMZ to come through, yeah, and that's it. Right, here he is. Look at that, man. He's missed the call, poor thing. Alright, where's he gone? Alright, you still there, bro?
I'm here.
Right, where is he? It's urgent. Please call me back. Oh, he wants me to call him back? Nah, man. Oh, yeah, that's how it works. I've got to call him, innit?
Oh, yeah. You got to bring him in.
Yeah, I got to bring him in. You know what I mean? How am I going to bring him in? Where is he? Let me see if I can call him.
So there should be an add button next to my...
Yeah, all right, where is he? Let me see if I can find him. All right, there he is. Done. Right. Right, don't shout, bro. Don't shout. I can find where your brethren is. Is he there?
No, I can't hear him.
I locked him off again, innit?
Okay, but then I tried phoning him, but I couldn't get through, basically.
Nah, because he was on here, yeah? So I was adding him in a minute. I'm just adding him.
Alright, that's cool, man.
Your mic's a bit loud, though.
Okay.
Right,
Is that enough?
No, it's still a bit loud, though.
Okay.
Right, where is... here he is. I found him.
Is my thing is still loud?
Yeah.
I don't know what. I need to...
Cool. Alright, let's see if I can get him in. Right. Right. Hopefully he should be coming in. Right,
One, two.
Right, LIMZ, you there? Hi.
If you see next to my picture, there's an add button.
Next to your picture?
Yeah, if you take the mouse up there.
There's a little figure with a plus sign on it.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, but I've tried that, man, and he got cut off. You got cut off when I did that.
Yeah, put me on hold.
I'm not going to put you out. Here's LIMZ here, yeah? I'm adding him. But when I add him, you get cut off. You still there?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to add him, yeah?
Alright, cool.
Because really and truly, both of you supposed to be here, but I only see him.
Yeah.
Right, let's see if he's going to come in now. I should be calling him. Yeah, calling him. Yep, I could see that I'm calling him. Right, so tell us about yourself, bro, because LIMZ will be coming in a minute.
Alright.
Yeah, go on.
So my name is Alim Kamara. I am a hip-hop artist and an African storyteller, and I love rocking the mic, live band. And when I'm not on stage, I'm in schools, inspiring young people and preserving the tradition of African storytelling and motivating them through our stories.
Okay. I got bare questions to ask you, you know, but I don't want to get carried away before LIMZ gets in. You know what I mean? I got bare questions to ask you.
Let me see if I can add him.
Yeah, can you add him at your end?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right now.
Yeah, I think that would be the best way because I'm trying to add him, but when I add him, you get disconnected.
Cool.
For some reason, look, I'm doing it again.
Now.
Right, it's not up on my thing here, so I can't add him. Right, no, it's not up. Oh, here he is. But I can't add him. LIMZ, he's got 2. That's why he's got 2.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, he's got 2.
Okay.
So I don't know which one he's using. I can take off this one. Right, I'm gonna add him on 1. Yeah, he's got 2. He's got 2. I think he's got two lines what he's been using. Yeah, he's got 2 for some reason.
Okay,
Add him.
okay.
Alright. LIMZ, alright, here is rapper. His name's here and your name's here, but I can't hear him. Anyway, let's see how it's gonna go because it's not good to start without him still.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know what I mean? Yeah, come Mr. LIMZ.
Oh.
Alright.
How you doing though, King? How you doing?
Well, I'm doing this thing here. It's something that we've been doing a long time. And because times have changed and the older generation needs to know that it's time for the younger generation to come through. And we not just take a step back, but make you lot come forward a bit more.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm talking about. Hey.
Yeah, so that's why we done this platform now called Bless. Because it's this time. It's your guys' time now to come forward. You understand?
I'm here, bro.
Right. So what we've done, we've got the platform set. We're working on the FM thing. We was on the FM today actually. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear LIMZ?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Alright, cool.
Can you hear me properly? Am I too loud or low?
Yeah, you're a little bit loud, or you're a bit too close to the mic, something like that.
So I need to be this distance kind of thing.
Yeah, because your mic's loud, so you need to be a little bit further away. But if you've got any live callers, LIMZ, just make them phone on another phone and just put them on loudspeaker, and then you'll be all right.
That's right, Alim. You got a phone call. You got a phone there, Alim, that they can phone on, yeah?
Yeah.
Definitely. We'll give them the number, innit?
Right. And your phone's still.
You know what? Before I start, big up Bless.
Yeah.
Alim, big up Bless. Come on.
Big up, family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whole family.
Yeah. So that's that. This brother that you brought in on the platform today, LIMZ, he sounds very, very interesting.
Listen. Can I do an introduction?
Behave yourself.
What? I'm trying to behave, you know. This is big. How can I explain it? This is someone. You see, when we speak about the youths and they need the motivation, they need the, inspiration, they need people around our age group, and we're like in the 30s, the 80s babies to like the late of the 80s to the early 90s to, babies kind of. These are the young people that the young people that are above that, the 2000s and whatnot, they're the ones they need to be looking up to. And you see Alim Kamara, for those who don't know, this guy in my eyes, he's massive. And the work he does, extraordinary, man. Like, I mean, Alim, I'm going to leave you to explain a lot more about what you do, but I don't know if you've already done like the explanation, because I kind of missed it. Sorry for the viewers, But like real talk, like this is a young brother that I look up to myself, and we've started off from young in this thing. We met up on the industry, we met up on the circuit, and you'll be surprised. He does rap, and he does. To me, he's a poet. He's not even a rapper. He's not your ordinary rapper. He's not these rappers talking about shooting this one and shooting. No.
Okay.
This is a lyricist, and there's a difference between rapper, lyricist, and poet. This guy is a poet and a lyricist to me, and like he touches on subjects that people don't know, they don't want to touch on, but they're not even too deep going into it. Like, you see how I admire Tupac? These are young Tupacs, bro. And these people, like, and what he does, bruv, we're gonna go through it through the hours, the hour, that we're gonna talk the hour and a bit, whatever it is, bro. Like, to me and for the viewers, this guy is amazing, man. And you guys, you need to know his story. You need to listen to his story. And he's very intellectual. Intellectual, to those who don't know, means his mindset works in the right order. Do you get what I mean? Ooh. It's not like he's trying to send separate messages or the wrong messages. He sends the right messages. And he not only does he do it through like just writing and lyrics and music. He does it through physical as well, like trying to give back to the what do you call them things, like trying to give back to the environment, like and it's not a joke, because a lot of people don't utilize their fame. You're award winning. He's award winning, you know. He's award winning, an award winner, and people don't utilize what they have to give back or help. And these are people that you need to like admire, and you need to see in the world. And we need more Alim Kamaras in the world. Like, you hear that, brother? I'm being honest with you. I hope you heard that one day, because I'm gonna give you time now. I said enough. I think I said too much. I said too much, fam. I said too much. And you know what? Before I start, Ramadan Kareem to all my Muslim brothers and sisters that are celebrating. And thank you and Alhamdulillah for all those that are even listening now, because they're going through their fasting. They're getting ready to break their fast. And you know, and it's a blessing, because this day and age we need God in our hearts and in our lives, because if you don't, you're going to be a lost soul, especially with this. We'll touch on the subject, but the whole corona stuff going on. So Alim, give a brief information, not even brief, just give them an introduction, brother. You know how to do this already. We've been on radio, stage shows, all of that together, brother. You know how to do this thing, man. Go on, man.
Yes, yeah. I touched on just before you came on in regards to what I do, in regards to being a hip hop artist and a storyteller. And so I'm hoping that through the interview, I delve into more specific questions coming from you brothers, so that I can go more in depth in regards to what I can share. You know what I mean? I'll be dropping some lyrics, stories, whatever it may be.
Thank you, man, bro.
For us to transmit the message.
So I'm too late. You're basically telling me you're a bit late, LIMZ ALI. You missed that. You missed that in the early bit. You know, you're a bit slow. Everyone's thinking, where's this guy gone? Like, his Skype is really... Listen, guys, I ain't got Wi-Fi and I'm using my phone, so all the listeners, work with me, blood. I'm joking, but nah, definitely, man. We met years ago, innit?
Yeah,
We met years ago.
Yes.
Do you remember what show we met at? Or what event we met at?
No, you're going to have to remind me. I know that I hit you up to come and support me in an event, and you willingly came and supported a charity event that I've got, where we sponsor young children in the village in Sierra Leone in the North Province.
I beg you repeat that for them. No, you see the love this guy gives.
No, because what it is it's like I was looking at it in terms of, I do a lot of work here in terms of schools, and then I thought about, I grew up in, partly in the village in Sierra Leone, and I was just like, what about back home? And I remember specifically going to the adults, like your parents do a group of where they get together and stuff, and I went to them and I was like, yo, so this is the idea that I've got, for us to help back home. And they kind of were just like, later, we'll talk about that later. Do you know what I mean? Because it was just like, you're just a young buck, like, what you mean?
What ideas you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
Where did you do this? Here?
Yeah, so it started here. Here where I approached the family, and it was kind of just like, we'll get back to that later. We have a dance that we are organizing right now, and I was just like, and they know, but they do a lot of work already. So I think they felt, you know what I mean, it'd be like doubling up on something that they've already been putting together.
Okay, Alim, sorry to cut you guys, but you got to let the listeners know, if they want to listen on the website, they got to go to blessradio.co.uk, but they got to press Bless Extra.
Okay, so they got to press Bless Extra.
Yeah, they're not, because there's two pages. There's one page where you got Bless Radio, and you got another page where
I think they're all going to end up pressing Bless Radio.
But if they go to Bless Extra, right, they will hear us, because we are this is the extra. You guys are the extra thing. Yes. Yeah. So you got to go to the Bless Extra page, or they can go straight to YouTube, Bless Radio 1, and they can hear it from there. But
I think they're gonna go on the YouTube, because on all the socials, I end up even before I came on, I put up everything Bless Radio, so I didn't have time. If I knew this one, I would have pulled it up. But you know what, guys? We've had technical difficulties with trying to put everything together. So I'll keep spreading the message.
Yeah, but if they want to hear it live, they can go to
it online as well.
Yeah, they can go to Bless Extra, the same website, but there's another page called Bless Extra. Yeah, okay. Extra with the X, you know, extra like XTRA.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, just letting you know, or they can go to the YouTube channel. But either way, it's going to be on YouTube, so the man them can download it later on and share it with the youngers and share it with the elders, because the elders need to know, say, it's your time.
Thank you.
They need to know it's your time.
That's it.
You know, and obviously we had our time. What did we do with it?
Right, you lot done a lot, because
we done a lot. We have, yeah.
Alim, you know what? Watch it. Let Alim say something like that, because you see what he just said right now. Remember what he just said. He was just saying about how he tried to bring an idea, but the elders were saying what? Alim, what were they saying?
We'll say later.
Yeah.
Later.
You see what I mean?
But bro, listening to you speak, right? I don't want you to speak like you lot have expired.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's very important that as long as you can breathe life.
Yeah.
It's all of our time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I think that's
learn from each other.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. I'm not talking like we've expired, but I've been brought up in a way that sometimes the elder generation need to realize that the younger generation do grow up, and that's yeah. So that's the bit that I was looking at. That yes, they do grow up, and when they grow up, you need to give them that chance to become an adult, to experience adulthood.
Very true.
So some people still treat their adult children like children. When are you going to treat them like men and women? That's the point. When are you going to realize that they're no longer babies? They're your children, but they're adults also. That's my point. So I've seen people treat their adult children still like children.
For real.
You understand?
I know. You know you're getting licks at 19 years old because you done something wrong. You're like, I'm 20. You know, he's looking at you're 20. You can hold 20 beating. You know, you're like, Dad. Like, my bedroom's around the corner, but they're watching the whole thing. They're snapping it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So my bedroom, tell me about yourself. Tell me, we was talking earlier on about what you do for the youngest. Tell us exactly what you do and how you started it.
So, in terms of beginning, I just remember like listening to people who are known as the Jalis. So the Jalis are the West African storytellers, musicians, poets, advisors, I could even say magicians, and they would essentially travel around telling stories and playing music, and that's how they would make a living. Many of them back in the day were advisors to chiefs and to kings, and a lot of people today know them as griots, but griot is actually a French word. Jale is one of the original words.
Sierra Leone speak French though, isn't it?
No, in Sierra Leone we speak there's 23 languages in Sierra Leone, but the main one that we speak is broken English, actually, because it was one of those places that was the colonizers came to from Britain.
Okay, like patois, yeah.
Yeah. So imagine patois with an African accent.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you see a lot of East Africans and West Africans think they've got like the Jamaican. Have you seen it in the videos? But we'll get to that. Carry on, my brother. You was only hitting on the subject.
Yeah. So I grew up listening. These were who I grew up listening to around campfires. Yeah. So when I traveled back to my birthplace, the UK, there were no more campfires. There were no more storytellers. But then I found hip hop. And I'm talking about the era of Public Enemy, KRS-One, Tupac. And when I was listening to these rappers, these were brave soldiers. These are soldiers of the field, the Nazis. And if you're walking down the road and you've still got people dashing bananas out of their Ford Fiestas, bruv, you know what I mean? If it wasn't for these rappers, who were saying stand up, do you know what I mean? Be strong, be proud to be black. If it wasn't for these lot, because remember our parents, they were busy trying to keep a roof over our head and our stomachs fed. So they certain times they couldn't attend to that emotional and well, I wouldn't say intellectual because they pushed us for school, but that emotional intelligence that we needed.
Oh, it is intellectual, man. Don't be afraid to say that word, man.
What I mean is that parents very much pushed for education.
Be a doctor, be a nurse, be a like lawyer. Yeah, carry on. You know what I mean?
They couldn't attend to that emotive side of our upbringing as much as I imagine they would have liked to. And so hip hop was something that did that. Hip hop allowed you to be able to express. You could listen and relate to these storytellers. So these are for me the modern day Jallies. They're the modern day griots. And so it went from trying to learn the lyrics to then picking up a pencil and then saying, you know what, there's certain things that I need to get off my chest and I want to express. And so I started to write down, and that became my level of therapy.
That's it.
Things that were frustrating me that I wanted to get off my chest, I was writing down. Yeah, because it was like, who do you go and talk to about your feelings? You don't want to talk to your boys because they might laugh at you, or you know, you can't talk to your parents. I get out of my face. You couldn't. So there wasn't
you know like that
could speak to.
Yeah, it's true.
And this is why I guess we turn to music so much for that love. And I remember we used to go to Saturday school, and the Saturday school that we went to was predominantly Asian. Again,
what's the Saturday school like? What happens there, kind of thing?
It was a madrasa, so they teach Arabic there.
Madrasa, yeah, mashallah. Yeah.
Right. So
sorry for those that don't know what a madrasa is. Explain to them.
It's a school where they teach about the Islamic religion. So this is specifically to
the
teach
roots of the Prophet,
right? So this we were say forced to go there. It was just you just did what your parents told you to do. So again, when we went there, beautiful place, beautiful people, but we couldn't. There was a thing about identity. And so
I'm gonna reach on the sheet after this, because carry on, brother. Because you know, like I have to touch on that, because that we both know about it, and this is you're hitting on the subject. Carry on, bro.
All right. So
here
I am, this young African boy with my cousins, and we're trying to find out, like, reflection-wise, where do we fit in to this society, this new community, and we couldn't find where we would fit in. We couldn't see ourselves in terms of on TV, or with the, you know what I mean, all it was Cosby, or Desmond's. That was it. So
and the real McCoy.
And the real McCoy. Come on, now you're talking.
Come on, bro. I grew up with all of them guys there, man. Come on, carry on, my bro.
A huge part of what I do started off with me trying to find my identity, and that was found through storytelling, through hip hop.
So when did you realize then?
When did I realize? Honestly, when we would go to the parties, my uncles and aunties, they would put on Michael Jackson, and my cousin and I, we thought we were the Don Michael Jackson dancers. Yeah,
they thought they were the gangsters.
Because the reason why is my uncles and aunties, they will throw money, and we'll be like, yes, we're killing it. Not knowing these lot were just laughing at us.
Yeah.
They were
they throw money. They throw a crazy amount of money as well.
Money. We were like, what? So we can entertain and get money. So I think for me, it was just like, wow, I can express myself through my body, through my movement.
You think you made it right there? You're saying to someone.
Listen.
Carry on.
Do you know what I mean? Some nonsense breakdancing, because we watched 1-2 video, we thought we could breakdance.
Yeah.
Like, it was malfunction robot. That's what it was. It was malfunction.
That's the Peter Crouch, as the people call it nowadays, right? But this is the black style, with the urban style, they say.
Right. So from there now, it was a thing of, okay, as you mature, you start to, you get to college and you hear about one or two events happening, concerts happening and things like that. So you start attending, and initially it's just like standing in the crowd and just watching. And then one day you just say, I'm going to step to the mic today.
That confidence.
After that, step into that microphone. I remember, actually, this is where a transition happened.
How old was you at this age, though?
Oh, my days. So I'm talking about
remember.
Probably about 16.
Oh, that's quite old, though. You're old enough, man.
No, but what I'm saying is, this is me in terms of, I've been performing in school and stuff, because remember, you're not allowed to go out and do big shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to be 18, innit?
I'm doing like little local stuff around the area, but in terms of like confidence of really stepping outside of my comfort zone in the community, and say down in Brixton where the poetry events are happening and stuff like that, it came to that. And so stepping to the microphone, I remember I wanted to perform one of my tracks, and so I'm performing, but when you're trying to perform hip-hop in a poetry setting, it's like, it's not geared for that. So the music is...
I thought you could run together, because obviously poetry, hold your thought there for me for a sec, please. You know, like, because I thought, poetry was a bit kind of, what do you call it? It's like speech, but it's like, you're a lyricist to me. And a hip-hop artist, to me, is a poet. That's how I see Tupac, because I grew up.
I'm speaking about the engineers. So the engineers,
behind this kind of
engineers in these places weren't set up for a hip hop artist. They were set up for the spoken word. So you've got the spoken word, and then you've got the hip hop. So actually, what a lot of people don't know is that rap is actually an acronym for rhythm and poetry.
Thank you. I'll clap for that, bro. I'm telling you. They don't know. No, it's the truth. But you need to research, because a lot of people don't know about rap. They just know. No, they don't know about hip hop, and they connect. Because we grew up to R&B, rap, and hip hop. Yeah, and this is before even grime and garage came through. Before garage came through, and then grime after. But it's like hip hop and R&B, innit? And rap was there, because rap has always been there, but rap is different. And I don't know, carry on, my brother, but I've always thought that rap, and hip-hop, in a way, from my own point of view, I'm not a musician, innit? I do my raps, don't get it twisted, I got bars, like, I got bars from bars, but I got mixtape loading, but I'm joking, but for real, but it's like, I've always felt like, that's another thing I wanted to say, but hold your thought, I've always felt like rap and hip hop, it's like it's like, to me, it's poetry, but obviously with a bit of music. That's why I wanted to say about the what do you call it? Anyway, cut a long story short, just wanted to say, kind of like, to me, them two are the same, innit? Because I feel, and to me, it's all poetry. But then a lot of viewers won't understand the point I'm making, but you'll understand it, because it's just, to me, it's something with a beat behind it, and then one without a beat behind it.
That's right. So that's what's known as the spoken word. So just to take it back even further,
that's it.
Is like the Jallies that I was talking about, the griots, they were essentially the original rappers, and the reason why these Jallies existed was they used to do what's known as the oral tradition. So they would store the history. They were the journalists of the community. You know what I mean? They could tell you whose brother was whose father's father, whose grandfather. You know what I mean? They could tell you those things. That was their job, essentially. And so nothing used to be written down. So they used to have to memorize all of this information. All of it. And so when you're looking at the MCs of today, it's the same kind of thing. They memorize their lyrics, they perform, and they go on tour. So the tradition's still on. It's still carrying on up until this day. So as I was saying, being on stage, I realized that since they were struggling to play the music, I would then say, okay, cut the music, and I would just perform a cappella. So acapella. So it's now called acapella, but acapella is actually
acapella.
Acapella.
Yeah, acapella.
Acapella just means lyrics without the instruments, without music.
And in Islam, what's that called?
The nasheed.
That's it. That's why I was saying to you, I wanted to touch on that as well. So carry on, bro.
Yeah. So it's funny that you actually say. So you know you were talking about back in the days, right?
I'm telling you.
So
and now Nasheed's only just come out a few years ago or been recognized.
Yeah. So even back in the day, before battles, they would have two wordsmiths, two poets, like come to the
and the comedian as well. Remember?
Right, and they would perform.
Because comedians are seen as poets in Islam, innit?
Right.
Yeah.
So these guys would actually perform before physical battles. And sometimes it was so raw, like somebody would deliver such a raft of words that the other team would be like, nah, we're not fighting today.
Like, no, I'm not involved. Yeah, man. You beat me with words. You beat me. You stabbed me. I feel it. I feel the shield. Yeah. Now carry on.
Yeah. So people really, you have to understand, like, the word is something which was so respected, and people didn't always used to have written contracts. Like, your word was your bond. Like, when you spoke your word, it was like what you have said, it goes to the heart and it means so much. And this is why if we don't recognize that, we can forget that. We need to be careful with the things that we say.
You say it. That's why your mama always taught you that, right? Mind what you say, control your mouth.
Yeah, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth.
Yeah, you not forget this one. Carry on, bro. It's true, you know. You're talking logic, man. For all the listeners, before I cut you, my bro, you got a phone number that they can phone in. Can you let them know, right? You know what I mean? Like, if they want to phone in and ask any questions, if they got any inquiries, just, you know what I mean? Like, give the number that they can phone in and then they can reach on and then, like, go live kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool, man. If anybody wants to call my business, like, you want to give them a number or shall I?
Nah, you give them the number, because I got one phone. I'm not rich like you guys now. You know me, Bless is not giving me millions.
It's coming. So yeah, my business.
Bless, I got you in the background. I hear you. Carry on, my bro. Now give them the number and then let them like get onto us and like get not get onto us. Sorry, get in contact with the conversation if they want to, and they want to send messages. They want to get hold of talk to you, ask me questions, ask Bless questions, whatever the weather. You know what I mean? Phone in the number, and then
yeah, cool. The number is 077-14-587-589. That's 077-14-587-589.
You lot got that, yeah? You better phone that number. Nah, I'm joking. That. Do you know what? Text in, phone in. If you got anything that you want to say, add to the conversation, phone in, ask like our brother Alim, any questions, ask me any questions, ask Bless any questions, anything that you want to know, man, because we talk about some deep subjects and we bust joke, you know, but it's reality, and this is the best way to get through quarantine. Otherwise you're gonna be strapped, man. You're gonna be sitting there looking at the TV watching beavers, you know, you don't want to be watching beavers on Animal Planet. You want to be listening to some good, but yeah, for real, guys, you can contact, phone in. Alim, we were touching on the subject, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
For real, obviously, you see, you said you work with the youths, innit? Mm-hmm. And obviously, you as a young person, you grew up, working with the youths and that.
Right.
And, you grew up as a youth, going through these experiences that you went through as a young person. In England, you went Sierra Leone, you went back home. Most young people, to be real with you, they don't get to have that opportunity to go back home and experiment and actually see what home looks like. Right. Because some people don't even, let's be honest with each other, we've known friends that they don't even leave their own area. That they've never left London, let alone North London to East London. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And like, so it's like going back to Africa, yeah. Like, how did you feel? And do you feel like the first time you went back, and do you feel like that had an impact on like your future and how you kind of like how you want to move forward in life and what like the feeling? Do you know what I mean? Because I remember my feeling. But I want to know how you felt. I'll kind of touch on to how I felt, but that was a madness. But carry on, brother. You know what I mean? Let them know how it was and how, you know, like how you felt, man. And did that have an impact on who you are now as a person?
Yeah, like, definitely. I mean, it's funny because when I was back home, there was this level of freedom. And what I mean by freedom, it was like, boys, girls, you know, you play. Like, it was just, if you're skipping, you're skipping. You're doing cartwheel, you're doing cartwheel. If you want to run barefoot, you run barefoot. You want to comb your hair, you comb your hair. If you don't, you don't. There was just such a freedom, and you could be a child.
Yeah, you can be a kid, man. Yeah, man.
Right. So, when we then traveled back to the UK, it was just rules. Like, you needed to have a level of wealth. So if you're turning up to school and you don't have name trainers, if you don't comb your head, if only girls skip and boys stay over there, and oh yeah, by the way, Muslims over there and Christians over there, and it was like, what the heck is this? And you realize the value of that freedom. And it's interesting how, for many years, how a lot of people from back home were running to come here. Now, if I have the money...
They're getting sent back home now.
No, people are ready to go back. It's not even...
I've got something to even chat to you about. Carry on, bro. People are ready to go back home.
Yeah. People are definitely ready to go back. I think it's just more if people had the setup in terms of accommodation, you know what I mean, suitable career or something, like...
But that's why they come out here, though, isn't it?
Yeah, initially, and I think that's what it was for a lot of our parents. It was a case of come over here, establish something, and go back. But then after so many years, you build such a lifestyle, and you almost kind of adapt to these surroundings, and back home almost becomes alien until
you feel. So do you feel? Yeah, on a real note. Do you feel like our parents, like the generation previous to us, yeah, or previous to them kind of thing, they forgot, like the Windrush generation, for those who like obviously must know kind of thing, like the, you know, them age groups. Do you feel like they forgot about where they're from and got too into England and too in touch with the UK and the European world and money and forgot about where they're from, and then that means like that meant that they're young people, which are like our generation, like they kids growing up now, like the ones under us, like they kind of a lot of them don't acknowledge where they're from, and they don't really know, and they don't really research into it. So do you feel like that's why they're lost? And we've had all this knife crime, because you do a lot of knife crime and anti-gun crime stuff, you know what I mean? We do it together, bro. And it's just like, do you get what I mean? Do you feel like this is like one of the impacts on why the young people are like this, because they've never got to experience that because, you know what I mean, like going back home, it was an effect on them because they have not been back. They've stayed here all the time. All they're seeing is grey clouds and rain.
I think there's I was reading, and it was saying that a lot of people are surviving. So you have to, like, I saw pictures before I came to this country. My mum had big fat afro, sunglasses, and
with the photo album, innit?
Yeah, and I just felt like when we came, it all changed. Like, do you know what I mean? So before we came, our parents were actually doing all right here.
Yeah. So are you trying to say we ruined it yet? No, I'm joking.
Saying we definitely gave them an extra level of responsibility.
Yeah, 100%. No, 100%.
We don't necessarily understand how much of a responsibility we ended up placing on top of them. So I've listened to conversations and people speak about our parents should have, our parents this, and I'm like, if you know what our parents had to go through, what
you wouldn't even put that in question, innit?
Yeah, it's like what they were dealing with mentally, their challenges. A lot of people, if they were to go through that, would not survive. They had to be real thick-skinned. They were facing harsh racism. They were facing trouble. You know what I mean? Like, they were facing a lot.
Trauma, along from back where they're from as well.
There you go. And sometimes a lot of our parents, which they won't tell us, came over to escape certain things. So it's like, and these conversations may not even happen because they're too embarrassed to say that they were raped as a child or they were abused or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, so some people actually transitioned for a better life over here. So when they came over here, they then got into this system, and this system is not necessarily designed to let you go. It's like, no, keep working. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, once you are in, you are in.
Yeah, it's
no. You want to go on the plane, you don't go plane. There's no plane for you.
But then what that did is it set us up to now be the entrepreneurial generation to say, right, you guys come now and
now it's my turn.
Do better than us. Do more than us. We could only do so much. Whereas your generation, as in us, we can then raise the bar and take things to another level with all this opportunity that we've got. So
that's why bless, thank you at least for this alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yeah, I know. I said, bless, thank you for this alone. Alim, I lie, innit? Because we do need these opportunities, and we've been working a lot, and it's what he's saying right now that touched on the subjects, because we're speaking on kind of you lot's generation, you know what I mean?
Well, put this way, LIMZ, right?
You're only 21. Don't worry, Bless. For the listeners, Bless is 21 years old.
All right.
But you know what I mean? In his mentality, he's a big man.
Okay, LIMZ, you need to watch Pinocchio, bro.
Tell him.
You need to watch Pinocchio again.
Pick you up, you know.
Watch it. I know, I hear what you're saying, but watch it again, because we're all comedians around here, so we got to bust a couple jokes still, you know what I mean? But watch Pinocchio again. All right. Right, so how it goes
you got a word for that, yeah? All I said is you're still a young man, and you know what I mean? Yeah, but at the same time, all jokes aside, we have to be, you know, like, you know, we have to, oh my days, you know, like that. I'm thinking so many words in my head that I can't even let one out. But at the same time, all I can say, we have to be grateful for what they did, and that's what Alim's trying to pinpoint as well.
Yeah, like, I respect that, because I'm part of the generation, like, we are the last of the generation that came here. My father came here in the 50s, and he knows the story of those who came in the 50s, and we are part of that last generation. So because I am in the middle, where I was here, saw the beginning of when we came, and now I'm seeing the new generation that is there to take over. So when I say to take over, you got to carry the baton, you know, from where we haven't left off, but we need you. We need you, the younger generation, to carry on where our ancestors fight for, what our ancestors died for. Yeah, we don't want you to forget that. Yeah, and we want you to carry on and be successful and be leaders. Yeah, because you are these things, but this country don't teach you that. You know. Yeah. So that's why we're here. We have the platform for you to shine, for you to be free, and express yourself, and that's what this is all about. You know. Carry on the legacy of what our ancestors fought for, what they fight for, what they died for. Right? Why? We're not going to let them go to waste. So,
yeah, it's true.
So this is why now it's your time to shine. It's your time.
So would you lot answer my question? I'll ask this for both of you, kind of thing.
Go on.
I'll draw you up, Bless. Yeah.
Yeah. Go on.
But at the same time, Alim as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can I ask you lot? Do you lot think that family and like, kind of like, you know, your cultural background, it all has an impact on how you, like, what you become like in the future, or is it like it's all mentally kind of thing? Because in my eyes, I think it can work both ways. And I don't know how you lot feel, but I've always wanted to I've asked people this question and I've got different reviews. So like, do you lot think family and at the same time cultural, or what do you think kind of impacts you the most? Like in terms of where you become in life? You know what you become in life.
Oh, what maybe you become life. It's a lot of things.
What do you become? What person do you become? Like whatever you choose, what your dream is, what you choose to do you make it or do you not make it due to being like following family or following cultural, like duties, or is it like or is it like you just do what you want? Do you feel like to me? I always ask this question: do you think like family or your family duties or whatever you have to do or whatever people are telling you to do or not to do, or your culture?
Are you still there?
Two differences. Family and culture is not the same. Family and culture is not the same.
LIMZ, put it this way, LIMZ, yeah? Our parents teach us the right way to grow, yeah? But then when you get into this world or this, what we call Babylon, there's so much materialistic things and vanity that brings you astray. This technology, the phone, the hair, the false hair, all these things. There's a lot of things that lead us astray from who we really are, yeah, from what we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You understand? And this is what the problem is. When you go back home, you have to, you're more into nature. But when you're here, you got false hair, you got false this, you got false that, you got everybody wants the latest phone, everybody wants the latest train, everybody's after materialistic things. And to me, there has to be a balance. Yeah, but some people get carried away and forget about the balance and become completely material and lose their way and forget about the creator that created them for a purpose.
The people that created them.
So they get caught up in this materialistic world and think it's all good and it's all real, and it has to be balanced. There has to be a balance. We do need a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but some people get carried away, they lose themselves, they got their baby's not even 1 year old and their baby's got on night trainers.
You know that?
Yeah.
The latest.
The latest. You understand? Some children are not even 5 years old, but they got their hair permed and straightened. Yeah, what is this?
Yeah.
They're losing their way. God never taught us this. God never bring us in this world to be like this. So these are some of the things that has led us astray. That we don't know ourselves. Some of us don't even know ourselves anymore. Why? Too much materialistic things, which is not really the right way.
So that's cultural. That's cultural. Then you're touching on the cultural side. Then, isn't it?
Yeah. You have to know your culture. You have to know who you are. You have to know where you come from. And because in this country, like I was brought up in this country, I didn't know who I was, where I come from. I was taught to stay away from Africa. I was taught that African people are negative. We was never ever taught anything about Africa in school. Nothing at all, Nothing at all. We never knew about Africa. I started to learn about Africa when I was about 28, 29. That's how long it took for me to start learning what Africa is. And you know where I found it? In the Bible. Genesis, Ethiopia. That's the first time I realized this place called Africa.
You looked it up, innit?
Yeah, but it was in the Bible. But we never learned this at school. We wasn't taught none of this. But when you're back home and you have you are African and you have your African tradition and culture, you best cherish that. You best cherish that because that is who you are. But when you're brought up here, you don't know who you are. And you have to find your way. And it's not easy. So
because you're not learning it. You're not learning it. So how the kids gonna know what it is if they don't even know what it is? So that means that's why. No, you know what? We need Alim to answer as well. But finish what you're saying. So then I want to hear.
Yeah. Let him answer. Answer me. Answer, bro, to what I've just said. Can you understand what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah. No. Definitely.
You need to turn your mic up, bro.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
I think there's a huge aspect of people who are not necessarily able to tap into that cultural aspect and are having to research it now. I'll give you an example. Like when I went to America, speaking to somebody and I'm like, where are you from? And they're like, America. Now I'm like, where are you from? And they're like, America. So imagine the Americans don't have that no connection at all. So what you're saying, brother, in terms of the cultural aspect, they don't have that there. Where a lot of people maybe say in the UK are privileged is that they come from that aspect of having family that are connected back home or whatever. Right now, where we are in this moment in time, a lot of it is to do with identity of who you are first and foremost as a human being. So there's a book by Joe Dispenza called Evolve the Brain, which is looking at essentially how you see yourself. Like when you look in the mirror, what do you see? That becomes the core foundation of who you are as an individual. Do you see yourself as somebody who's worthy or somebody who's worth less? So if you don't have that identity, let's just for a second, we put aside even just cultural aspect. If you don't have that identity of self-worth, anybody comes and tell you you're West Indian, you're African, it doesn't matter. And what we're finding with a lot of these young people today, they know where they're from or they know where their family's from. It's still not making them change their behavior. So there's a part where we need to go back to looking at self-worth and looking at that aspect of how do you see yourself. Because it's interesting. I think Carla has touched on this, where he has said, it's why is it easier for black boys to rob black boys, but then they're a lot more careful about robbing white boys? Not saying that anybody should be robbed, but there was a part where it's like, when I look in the mirror, do I like what I see? Do I like the reflection of the person that's in front of me? And if I don't like that reflection, then of course it makes it so much easier for me to go out there and defile, or if that's even a word, and take advantage of somebody who looks just like me. And so there's that part where if there isn't that family aspect, there isn't that cultural aspect, I don't want anybody feeling left out. I want it to be a case where you acknowledge that first and foremost, especially, and I'm not sure when you're going to go into the whole, we're talking about the current state that we're in right now, where this position that we're in with I call it Thanos.
We're going to touch on that, B.
Cool. So, right, so just to kind of round up and answer. Right, so just to round up and answer.
Big up Akala for what you were saying as well, because Akala's massive figure. He's very, very intellectual young man. You see him, he'll have to be on this one time, if not soon. Carry on, my bro.
Yeah. So there's that aspect of looking at who you see in the mirror that is going to help to shape your mind. Like when you wake up in the morning, what are the first thoughts that are coming to your head? Are you having certain thoughts? And I don't even want to use the word positive. I just want to use certain thoughts that maybe say ground you, that make you feel as if you belong here, that you're not just waking up and breathing, that you live when you wake up. Do you know what I mean? Like there's that existence of you as a human being. And those are the kind of grounding foundation that help you to be able to start to shape the community, who you are, and then move forward in terms of building a better community and a better society. It all starts with you as an individual first.
100%, and it always will, because if you don't find yourself and you're not grounded, it's like, as comedians, they tell us that you need to find yourself in order for you to be able to express yourself, on stage. Otherwise, you're going to be a fake person. Now, in life, it's the same thing, right? Well, we got a phone line coming through, yeah? Okay, cool. Yeah, but definitely, bro, like that, it's true, man, what you're saying, because it's real. It's like, even that, yeah, that's a subject that even touches onto like what we're going through right now. I mean, like, it's a lot of people have lost themselves, do you know what I mean? Like, now you're getting people that, like, I don't know, what can I say? People are looking at, like, Like, you know, this is it gets a bit touchy, but at the same time, it's the truth. And there's people out here, yeah, industry or no industry, just reality-wise, people are like, they've fully forgotten who they are, and some people are just like, yeah, but we're all gonna die anyway through this epidemic, and I'm black. I've had today, right, like a subject that I even like to touch on, which is a bit deep, but I don't know if you lot are ready for it, but I'll ask you, because they keep saying, why is it that black ethnic and BAME, the word they're calling it now, which is a word that's not even in a dictionary, but I've heard it now, about BMA, what do you call it? Black and ethnic minority, what? Something end with, yeah? They're the ones that are catching this coronavirus more than others in the UK, because we've got foreign listeners right now, you know. So big up all the foreign listeners. Thank you for listening. Thank you for Skyping in. Thank you for even, like, you know, being online, because I know it's tough. Like in Uganda alone, to get them MBs is tough, yo. You know what I mean? But thank you so much for listening, and we appreciate that. And thank you for having you on air. But in UK, we face something where they're saying that the black minority ethnic, yeah, they're the ones that black African, whatever they call it, yeah, I can't even say the word, I keep forgetting. They're the ones that are catching this coronavirus more than the rest. And I'm thinking, if this started in China, like, why are black and thingy? But I understand. I got my own kind of intellectual values, whatever I'm thinking of, yeah, if I'm putting the right words in the right sentence. But what I'm thinking is it is what it is. But at the end of the day, yeah, like, when a lot of African, like, and Asian, if you go into like hospitals, and you go into, like, you know, when you go to the bin man in the morning, you see him going past, a lot of them are African or Asian. The street sweepers, a lot of them are African and Asian. The cleaners in your households, in wherever you, like hostels, hotels, wherever you're living, they're African and Asian. Hospitals alone, like I said, I'll stress that one a lot. Hospitals, yes, where people are getting kept alive, yeah, the African and, you know, the Asian minority kind of thing, we're the ones dying more than most. It makes sense in a way, but it really don't make sense. So what's happening to the rest, though?
Well,
I know it's a deep question.
I think it's a case of, like you said, it's understanding the structural positions of people who are of darker skin. So, like you said, a lot of people are on the front line. A lot of people are below the you know what I mean, the poverty line. So, in terms of where people are set up, whether it's work-wise or living wise, it's,
so they have to work to save others.
Yeah, but then there's also a part. I'm gonna like I said, the book that I'm reading at the moment, right? So I don't know if you've heard that if a woman thinks that she's pregnant, like she's convinced that she's pregnant, she starts to exhibit all the signs of a pregnant woman. In the sense of, she can have morning sickness. She can also she can start to put on weight. Like, she's convinced that she's pregnant. There's a word for it. And so what's happening is that
psychological.
Right. We don't really recognize the power. Nobody's taught us the power of mental thought.
Nah, not at all.
This message,
they call it mental health.
Right. The more this message keeps on flying out about black people, there begins to come a level of expectation that, oh, this thing now hits us more than anybody else. But you also have to forget that you're not looking at your environment as to why. Yeah, if you're in a place where there are majority yellow people, white people, it could be just the same in terms of numbers. But if you're not...
I think it's just acceptance.
No, I think if we were to if we were to pull back and from the front line of a lot of the things that are being done, we would see the numbers change. I mean, we would definitely see the numbers change. But again, we are a community based people, so a lot of people are not necessarily listening to the stay at home and don't interact because we're used to family. We're not used to being by ourselves and things like that. So there are so many things that would need to be looked into in order to be able to say, oh, this is why so many black people are dying from Thanos.
You called it Thanos.
Thanos. So
Thanos, yeah. Sorry, I thought you said you called it Thanos.
No. So I'm a big. I watch Marvel. Something I really want to touch on is two films that happened. So the Avengers, where it was like Thanos clicked his finger and all of a sudden, overnight, the whole world changed.
Yeah.
When we then moved into, because Hollywood a lot of times can send us messages and we don't necessarily get it. When we then move into Spider-Man Far From Home, the character in Spider-Man Far From Home, his thing is to create an illusion, and then he comes and saves the day. So you're looking and you're hearing a lot about this vaccine and stuff that's happening right now. There's a lot that's happening that we weren't necessarily prepared for. Now,
100%.
This is a message to anybody that's listening right now. See, what's happened is our clock has been shifted. So we were used to a pattern of going to work, you come home, you eat, you go to bed, and you keep on doing the same thing. The moment pattern was shifted, all of a sudden, people's minds just were like, no, I'm not used to change. So people already started slowly dying inside because they're like, I don't know how to deal with this situation. But what's also interesting in Spider-Man is there was something that happened called the blip, right? And in the blip, there's a 5-year gap where everybody that passed or whatever comes back, right? Now, this metaphorically means that when this passes, there are those who are going to grow and there are those who are going to stay the same.
That's it.
At this point in time is where you can say to yourself as an individual, I owe it to myself, I owe it to those who have passed away, I owe it to those who are still fighting to keep on going.
That's it.
Right? And I'm talking about, if you've been talking about or thinking about writing a book, this is the time to do it. If you've been thinking about exercising, this is the time to do it. If you've been thinking about building a business, this is the time to do it. If you've been working hard and you needed to just rest, this is the time to do it. What I'm saying, brother, sorry is
no, carry on, bro. Carry on. Come on.
What I'm saying in this moment in time is grab hold of your, get control of yourself. And I'm not saying it's a thing that happens overnight. Even when I talk about exercise, I mean, if you can only do 1 press-ups, start with 1 press-ups. I don't care if you do that for 3 days and then the 3rd day you go on to 2 press-ups. If you're thinking about writing and you only write 2 lines, fine, write 2 lines. The idea is to get your mentality into shape to say, right, things have shifted. I am now going to flow with the shift. I am now going to adapt to this situation. And once I adapt to this situation, I can make the most of it. I can get the best out of it. And the sad thing is, let's also remember that there are people who are being heavily affected, in terms of lives lost, and there are people mourning. And this rest in peace to all those people, and sending love to those who are fighting right now. Let us who are in good shape and in good health, let's represent for them. Let's do something that by the end of this, we come to this, you know, like Michael Jackson, the change, what's it? Man in the Mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Man in the mirror.
right. It's about who, like, if I watch this, Ali, yeah.
Yeah.
If for instance, right, I decide, you know what, I'm gonna start being more healthy, yeah.
Yeah.
And when we come out, you see me, and I'm looking healthier. You're like, bro, what happened to you? Like, I started exercising. Really? What were you doing? This was my regime. This is what I started doing. Yeah. Then you all of a sudden are now inspired by that. Now you then say to me, okay, what did you start? Bro, I started my YouTube videos. Swear down. How did you do it? And then you then say to me, okay, so I went to here. This was the best price. Okay, cool. And we inspire each other simply from doing little, and that's the light that shines.
That's it.
That light is what we work and building on. Going back to the campfire, you notice that the more wood you throw in the fire, the bigger the fire gets. So the little that you do.
And it's the inner light as well.
Say again?
It's the inner light.
It's that inner light, bro. So it's like, what is it? Somebody said, your DNA is parts list of potentials that are waiting instructions from you. So your DNA, your body is waiting for you to take action. Your mentality is waiting for you to take action. And here's the madness now. Let me just.
Alim. Give them the number again. Give them the number again. They need to be able to text in, at least text. Let them know that they're being heard. Do you know what I mean? If they're texting in or, you know, trying to get at you, give them the number again, bro.
Yeah, man. So that's 077 14 587 589. That's 077 14 587 589. Now watch this, right?
Come on, bro.
They did an experiment, right, where they looked at people who were learning to play the keyboard. And these people were learning to play the keyboard. Then they got another set of people to just watch, yeah, as these other people were learning to play the keyboard. So they weren't physically doing it. After a while, these people who had just been watching were able to play the piano.
That's it.
On another experiment, they did. Hold on. And another experiment they did.
Yeah.
They got people to train I think it was either their finger muscle or their arm muscle. I can't remember which one it was. They got them to do exercise. Then they got the other people to just think about it. Yeah? So they had to sit down and meditate. Bro, would you believe that the people who were just watching, they got stronger?
100%.
Who were just meditating and thinking about it, visualizing it, they actually got stronger. It wasn't as strong as obviously the ones who were doing it physically, but they said
it got stronger.
Right. They said that there was like a 10-20% increase in their strength.
Yeah.
So imagine knowing this, and you're like, wait. So right now there are parts of you in your body that are waiting to be transformed.
Aching for it.
They're waiting. They're waiting. So imagine discovering this. I'm like, wait, so you're telling me I can still learn a language? You're telling me I could still do certain things? I could still learn how to knit? I could still learn how to start a YouTube video? Like, yes.
They're like, I was told I can't do it.
Yeah. But then, watch this. You were told, but who translated the message?
That's
so
it.
if you say so, alright, so let me bust a quick story. When I say story, you say story.
Story, go for
There's a story about these frogs.
But this is all real, people. This is all real, man. This is all realness.
These frogs were leaping, traveling through the forest, and then they had to leap over this deep ditch. Yeah. And all the frogs leaped over except 2 of the frogs fell down into the ditch. Yeah, and then the 2 frogs started leaping up. Everybody, all the other frogs gathered around the ditch. These 2 frogs started leaping up, and everybody in the beginning was cheering, come on. But then after a while, they were like, nah, man, they're not going to make it. So then they started shouting down and saying, forget it. Look, we're going to have to go. Like, you're finished. Like, that's it. Like, there's nothing you can do now. Just forget it. One of the frogs heard and was like, you know what? These lot are right. And just croaked his last croak and just died. The other frog kept on jumping, and everyone's going like, what are you doing? You're wasting energy. Look, forget it. Look, just you're kept on jumping, and then slowly all the frogs started leaving. And as they were leaving, the frog jumped up one last jump and landed at the top. And they were all like, oh my days, what the heck? We were shouting at you.
Landing at the top.
Yeah, we were shouting at you and telling you you couldn't make it. Like, what the heck? That frog's mother came through.
Yeah. And
told the other frogs that her baby frog is actually deaf.
Snap.
And so when the mother communicated with the baby frog, the frogs like communicated to the mom and said, oh, I thought when they were shouting that they were actually cheering me on.
But it was a complete opposite.
Yeah, but because I thought they were cheering me on, it was encouraging me to keep going. And that's what kept me going. The fact that I couldn't hear the nonsense. Do you know what I'm saying? I couldn't hear the nonsense. So when people say things to us, it's up to us to translate it. It's language. It's words. It's opinions. Somebody else's opinion is not my reality. I say that again, my G. Somebody else's opinion is not my reality.
Not forever, nothing.
Do you know what I mean? So at this moment in time, I feel that it is definitely a time for us to be able to reflect and gather thoughts.
Listen. You know, you touched on some deep subjects there. And I hope for the listeners, you lot are listening, man. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys have received messages or whatnot, but, you know, like, we surely have been. But obviously, we're going through Skype and this whole situation. We're still quarantining. When we're not in the studio for the viewers. We're just here, you know, separate homes. We're not like we're proper isolating right now. Trust me. Right. Otherwise, we'll be all free, or you know what I mean, all together in one studio and talking about this. But it's like it's a bit hard. It's made life hard. But do you know what it is, right? I'll be honest with you, because you touched on some subjects that it's important, isn't it? Like, and then what you said, yeah, made me think as well. Like, and I wanted to ask you something, right? Like, you see this whole situation, and obviously we went on, not started, but we went on from them subjects to the subjects of the corona situation and that, and how it's impacted how you feel like ethnic people and everyone else, BAME as they call it, people are being treated, and a lot of people have been treated, not just us, like, you know what I mean, like, even the, you know, my Caucasian brothers and sisters, how you feel you've been treated. You lot, like, let us know, man. Everything's normal, like, we're all together as a family, you know what I mean? We're all out here running through the same situation, same struggle, we're all grinding, all trying to keep safe. And, like, with you, Alim, now, yeah, I wanted to ask you now, guys, you're tuning into, like, LIMZ Ali show, Bless FM, Bless Radio 1 with Bless himself and special guest, yeah, Alim Kamara, award-winning artist, do you know what I mean? Like, lyricist, extraordinaire rapper. To me, this guy does the most. He does a lot, and he don't stop. You know what I mean? This guy is even off his social medias right now, peoples, just so he can say, you know what, I'm staying away from the world and trying to focus on myself and trying to plan what I'm gonna do after all of this. That's what I get across. No, I'm joking that, but at the same time, do you know what I mean? Like, he's actually kept his head tamed, and we all need to keep our head tamed and find situations to do and find situations to go through, things to do to get out of this situation, or once we get out of it, what are we gonna do? And I've been thinking, because I spoke to a lot of artists, right, Karim, and like, did I say Karim or did I say Alim?
It's cool. Don't worry, bro. It's cool, bro.
Hey, people, I'm my bad. Hey, Alim, my bad, you know. I should say sorry to you first.
It's alright, man. It's the fasting.
I'm not calling you Karim because you sound like, you know, right now. No, wallahi, it's proper. It's putting that, you know what I mean? It's like, but at the same time, yeah, has this, like, do you feel like this is actually, like, do you feel it's had an impact on you and your career and your forward movements after this, or, like, you know, even during this? What have you even been doing during this situation? Because you sound like a proper educated brother, and, you know, you kept your head, like, tamed, you kept your head on point, like, and what would you, like, what do you do to get yourself, like, in that level-minded kind of set mind, do you know what I mean? And also at the same time, what do you, like, how has this even impacted you, like, in terms of your career? Like, your life, obviously, we've heard, like, we haven't fully heard of it, but we'll get to that. But how has it even impacted your career and just you as a person?
For me, it was a big slap in the face. And the reason why I say that is because for a while, I've been talking about doing digital work, doing more digital storytelling and things like that. Just so that if I'm not able to work or I can't get to a school, that they are able to tap into my digital resources. So when this happened, schools have all closed. My work is all schools and all performances. So now I can't go out to schools. I can't go out and do performances. So what's now happened, it's made me think, okay, you can now do that digital aspect of things that you weren't able to, or you didn't do when you said you were going to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm being very aware that these thoughts creep in, and let's call it the gremlin. Yeah, name it. And seriously, because you have to be able to identify things in order to be able to deal with them. So the thoughts creep in, and this is where we're talking about mental health now. And when the voice comes in, oh my gosh, money. Oh my gosh, what are you gonna do? Oh my gosh, this is bad. This is so wrong. This is catastrophe. All these voices start coming in, and they start telling me things that are not going to help me move forward. Again, I call it the gremlin. What I have to do now is not base who I am or what I'm doing on my bank account. Yeah? I have to say to myself, I'll give you an example right now. Quick question to you. I will give you £1 million. Would you like £1 million?
Come on.
But you only have 48 hours to live.
Sorry, come on means, yeah? What? Hey, what? Hold on, wait. Rewind.
So
listen, you're trying to play with me now. You're trying to play. I'm supposed to trying to play with me now. What do you mean? I said before I even finished the
right.
But no, I get what you're saying. No, on true honesty, what I'll do with it is right back now, this moment in time. Was you asking me that question?
That's what I'm saying. It's basically it's an either or. So if you take the million, right? You'll be taken out in 48 hours, or you just go on as you are with the time that you have.
I'll go on as I am.
All right. So which basically means that the most valuable thing that you've just proven for you is time.
Yeah, and it's live.
Right. So for people out there now, your value is in your time. It is not in your. It's not in our. Like the wealth will come, but when you put in the time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like I've grown up to someone telling me, like, one of my mentors. Sorry to cut you, my bro. I've grown up with like one of my mentors, yeah, and his name's Rene Canero. You know, check him out, man. He's an amazing guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll just say his name, Rene Carriol. You can Google him into like YouTube, whatever, and you'll know who he is. But it's like he taught me that alone, yeah, that you need it takes, apparently in life it takes a thousand for you to do 1,000. What's it? 100 hours to make £1,000, or is it 1,000 hours to make 100? You know, that is one of the two, but it'll play with your head because you got to choose which one it is. It's either 1,000 hours for you to make £1,000, or 100 hours for you to make £1,000. No, sorry, it's 1,000 hours for you to make £100, or it's £1,000 for you to make like 1,000. You know. Like, and it's like, I know I just confused you, but you look him up in it, because it's deeper than what I'm just saying. Right now, you might think, oh, LIMZ is talking gibberish, yeah?
No.
So you look at, no, not you. You're not. You might not be thinking it, because you know that you know where I'm coming from.
You'll have to text how you spell his name, because I've just.
Rene Cara is RENE. CARA.
CARA. Okay.
YOL. Rene Carriol.
Okay.
Now, he's an amazing mentor, yeah? Okay. Now, he came here years back, yeah, and he's done what he's done, and he became a multimillionaire through doing, you know, like, what's this, social business, whatnot thing, yeah? That I don't look too tough into it. Like, I'm sorry to even sound like that, but he knows I respect him more than most. But it's just one of them ones where I know where you're coming from, because some people forget, innit? It's that all it is, yeah, in general, is you have to put the hours in, yeah, in order for you to get that £1,000. Or you can put that, like, the £1,000 in and not get that £100. Yeah, so there's only one way to it.
Right.
But then at the end of the day, a lot of people don't see the facts of it. They don't see. But he didn't put this out. He told this to me, and I had to figure it out myself. So I'm putting it out there for people to figure it out for themselves. Do you get what I mean? And at the same time, it's the truth, because you can put in so much work and not get what you want, innit?
That's right.
Like, as like coming from an African background, I'm African Asian, yeah. I come from an African Asian background and whatnot. Like, they'll tell you that you're supposed to like do this and do that, put in these hours and put in them hours, and you're going to get that million. But you can put in them hours and blah blah blah, but you won't get that million because you're working for that wrong person, or you're working in the wrong field. That's not your field that you're supposed to work in now. And until you find yourself is when you realize what's good for you, and that's when you're going to get that, you know, that whatever you wish, million, 200 million pounds, whatever, a billion, being like Kanye West right now. He's a billionaire, innit? Doing whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? And making it in your eyes. To me, I believe personally, making it is what you believe in, what your goal was, and that shows me what your goal was. Because if your goal was to make £1,000, to make £1 million, it's gonna show. Because you're gonna end up dropping out the closest people too. You're gonna end up dropping out everything, whatever, just to make that. So you do anything for it. Now, when you're just trying to do it and you're not thinking about the million and the billion and the grands and all of this stuff, then you're gonna find it's a journey, innit? Life, like, I believe life is a journey. I've had this slight mini argument with people where people have said to me, "Oh, like life is not like life is what's it? Life, the journey is not your finish point or whatever, or life is not a journey, and and I've just gone, life is a journey though in the end. And some people actually believe that life is not, it's not your destination.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, but life is your destination. You're going to get where you want to get because you want to get there, and you're going to achieve it, needless how much money you make.
Mm-hmm.
Like, needless who you meet or whatever, as long as you're happy within yourself. That leads me to the point that you mentioned earlier, which was important. You need to find yourself as a person in order for you to be happy and satisfied, rather than you trying to satisfy others in order for you to be happy. There's a complete difference. That's where things like depression and all of this stuff leads to, because you're trying to satisfy someone else so much that you're forgetting yourself and who you are as a person. And as young people, we're led to social media and we're led to seeing this and that on TV, because now, when I grew up here in the 90s, I'm 30 for those who want to know. Like, come here, I'm young. Like, I'm a good-looking guy. Like, talk to my dad and mum, and it's normal. It's nothing. But at the same time, you get me. It's like, I've learned to realize that it's not about all of that. It's about your mentality and where your aims are in life. Because if you choose to ride your own wave and find yourself as a person, you're going to achieve whatever you want to achieve anyway, even if it means the smallest bit of the one. You have what do you call it, a bracket, of like 0 to 100. If you meet only 20%, but you've achieved 20% of what you want to achieve, it doesn't mean you've lost out on the rest of the 80. You've already gained the 80, because if he was to pass away, God forbid, touch wood, whatever people believe in, you've still achieved it. You understand? And that's what I believe. And I feel like a lot of people in our generation, like, we need to speak to the youngers now as well, because a lot of people in our generation, or the young ones, under like 40, I'll say. The 50-year-olds are still young.
Excuse me, Limbs. Can I ask the brother a question? Because I haven't asked that for a long time.
Go on, sorry, man. You didn't. You should have just stepped through.
No, I hear you. But I'm listening to your story. But I'd like to ask him a question, because we don't want to run out of time, and I don't get to hear something from him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Greetings, my brethren.
Greetings, bro.
Right. I'd like to talk to you for a little bit, but before I talk to you, I'd like you to do something for me. I'd like you to tell me, the audience, your favorite story. Because you're a storyteller. Right? So can you tell me your favorite story, the one that means the most to you, and why?
My favorite story has to be my story.
Go on.
And the reason why is because it's a story that is continuously unraveling. It's a story which I look at the obstacles, I can be able to learn and reference from the stories within the stories. And what I mean by that is, each story that I pick up and tell becomes part of my story. So essentially, I am the center of the stories that I tell, which makes me the pinpoint, I guess, of the stories that I share.
Okay, so I'd like you to share at least 2 stories. This one what you're going to share, and I'd like you to share a traditional story. 2 stories.
So in terms of my story, I think, you want me to share a traditional story?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll go in there, my friend. We'll go in there.
Wait, I'm just thinking. I've got to pull up.
Yep. Limbs.
Yeah.
Limbs.
Yeah.
Remember what I was telling you earlier on last week about those particular questions that make you think?
Yeah, I've given him some already.
But this is one of those questions.
I have a library of stories. I'm trying to think of the short ones, because my stories are quite long.
Yeah, we want a traditional story, and we want your own story. But the traditional stories are the best stories, because sometimes they come down from ancestral people and from mothers and fathers.
See, Leslie's checked out your stuff now. He needs to know some deeper shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to really get to the vegetable of this man, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get right down to the core. You've come a long way, but now we want to know who you really are and what you're really about. And you're a storyteller, so I'd like to hear one of your traditional stories and one story about, as you said, you are the center of the other story.
All right, when I say story, you say story. Story.
Hey.
Right. So there's a story about a character called Anansi. For those of you who do not know, Anansi is originally known as Brass Spider. He's half man, half spider. He can turn into different forms. He's the original Spider-Man. So pick up, what's his name? Peter Parker, or whatever his name is, get out of here. Because we know Anansi is the original Brass Spider. Now, Anansi one day decided, you know what? I want all of the wisdom in the world. I want it all for myself. And so he got what is known as a calabash. And he got the wisdom all over the world and he put them inside the calabash. For those of you who don't know, a calabash is a big, massive bowl. And he said, you know what, this calabash, I'm going to hide it. I'm going to keep it all for myself. And so what he did was, he got the calabash and he tied it in front of him. And he started to climb up a palm tree, a huge palm tree, because that's where he wanted to hide the calabash. As he was climbing up with all of this wisdom stashed inside, Anansi's son showed up. And he could see that Anansi was struggling because the calabash was in front of him. And his son looked and he said, Papa, why don't you tie the calabash behind you so that it will make it easier for you to climb up the tree? And Nancy was vexed. He was like, I put all of the wisdom inside this calabash. And he was so furious that he started to just get angry, and with that, the calabash fell and smashed on the floor. And all the wisdom scattered around the world. And that is why today we all have a little bit of wisdom, each one of us, because of Anansi dropping that calabash that day. So know, whether you are young, whether you are old, all of us have a piece of wisdom within us. Story.
All right. You see, now we're talking. Now
give us the next one. Give him a next one. Now.
All right. Story. All right. So there's a story about this pheasant. And this pheasant wanted to climb up a tree. You know, wanted to get up to a tree. But he's like, I don't have the strength in order to be able to fly up to that tree. Yeah, I can't do it. Well, next to him was his friend Bull. And he told Bull, he said, Bull, I want to get up there. He said, but, you know, I just don't have what it takes. Bull says, I can help you, but I don't know if you're going to like the idea. He said, what do I have to do? He said, listen, all you have to do is eat my poo-poo.
Hey.
He said, listen. He said, inside my poo-poo is loads of nutrients and and good stuff, and it will give you energy. Not energy, it will give you energy to be able to get up there. But the person was like, nah, I don't know, man. But you really wanted to get up there. And so he said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to eat the poo-poo. I'm going to do it. And so Pheasant got down and started eating The people, it was disgusting. But then, next thing you know, the next day, he got up to the first branch and he was like, what? Oh my goodness me. Bull's poo is good poo. I know if I keep eating this poo, I will get everything that I need in order to get up to that top branch up there. And so Peasant got down and started to eat the poo and he got higher and higher. He ate more poo and ate more poo until one day he was able to get to the top branch of that tree. Wow. And there Pheasant was celebrating. I made it. Hey, I made it. Hey. Well, far off in the distance was a farmer who saw Pheasants standing on the top of this tree. And the farmer reached over and picked up his rifle. And he aimed at the pheasant. Bakala! And he killed the pheasants.
Oh, no way.
That's the end of the story.
The peasant died.
The pheasant died.
So what's the moral of the story?
My brother, I'm glad you asked that question.
Greed.
No. The moral of the story is that bullshit can get you to the top, but it won't keep you there.
It will never keep you there.
Bullshit. Yeah, because you was eating the bull's poo, so bullshit will get you to the top, but it will not keep you there.
Goodness gracious.
Hey, LIMZ, that's a proper story, my friend. I love that story, my friend. I'd like to come to your house for dinner, but I don't want no poo-poo.
No poo-poo.
No, just vegetables. Just vegetables.
Next question now.
That was a story.
You know what?
Hey,
as a Muslim, Alim though, like switch off the joke minute for a bit, because I can do it, but I don't know if you can still. If you know, even you, blessed, Bob. But at the same time, like you see, for you, Alim, how's like you see Ramadan, how's it treating you like on lockdown and you're fasting and you're on lockdown, and how's it impacted your settings, like your career level, like how your like your performances, and like how's it impacted you as a person?
There's a preference, because Ramadan is about family, people getting together.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? But there is something about bending and not breaking. So what this has taught us is that we have to learn to adapt to the situation. So for me right now, this is a new experience. Embrace it. The beauty of some people, what they used to do is they used to go off to the mountains and meditate. Some people used to, do you know what I mean? They would disappear into the forest and have that moment in time. This is a quiet time now for me to, and what I'm doing, and this is a conscious thing that I'm doing, I'm saying whatever comes up, adapt, bend, adjust, look at it and say, okay, how can I make the most of this? Bro, like before even Ramadan, I found I was praying more.
Yeah.
I can also read more. I can meditate more. I can do these things that I've been too busy to do at times.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? So again, embrace, adapt. Embrace, adapt. Embrace, adapt. Or adapt, embrace.
That's the cycle.
Do you know what I'm saying? So that when you're throwing questions at me in regards to this situation, I'm really having to say to myself, that's what I've been doing. I'm not sitting here any less happier. I'm flowing, that constant. How do you stay constant? And it's like, okay, cool, like I've got more time. I guarantee you, here's something that I'll challenge people tomorrow, Don't touch your phone for the whole day, or if you can, half the day, and see, because what happens now is we're trying to replace the interaction. So what we tend to do is we go on our phones more, we go on YouTube more.
You've locked off all your social medias, isn't it?
Yeah. I came off social just to say, you know what? Because again, I was like, Alim, you could utilize this time, you know. That you could really utilize this time and come out learning something new. You could read that book that you've been thinking about reading. You could, you know what I mean? Like, I'm learning new stories and working on new stories so that when I come out, when I go into those schools and I'm delivering for those children, oof, it's an accelerated storyteller that they're going to get.
Listen, remind the people of what you do and where you do it and how they can get in contact with you, bro.
Appreciate that, brother, man. So, my company is called Story, and it's spelled Storie. And the reason why it's spelled like that is because that's how we say story back home. We don't say story, we say story. So I spell it how we say it back home. So it's Story. And the reason why I say story is because when you are listening to storytellers, what happens is that they come and they basically ask you the question story, and what they're essentially asking is a question about, do you want to hear a story or do you want to hear a story? Yeah, they're like, do you want to hear a story or do you want to hear a story? And when you're saying story, you're basically saying, I want to hear a story and I'm ready for the story. So that's why.
Yeah, fairy tale, innit? Give me a fairy tale. Yeah. See what you're saying. Go on, carry on.
You know, so that's about. And so I was like looking at identity and wanting people to kind of embrace that side and be like, this is where I come from, and I'm sharing with you just from the name of my company alone, you knowing that you're going to get something cultural. So yeah, the company is called Story. So please tap in. And what I do is I go in and I do storytelling workshops, Black history, but I deliver it in a fun and engaging way. And there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of children getting involved. Where it's just like, I want to share with you the positive aspects of Africans and people of African descent. That's what I want. That's my aim. But at the same time, by the time I leave, you're also motivated and inspired.
That's
cool. Where do you do this? Where do you do it?
I do it for schools. I also do corporates as well. So corporate organizations will call me to say host their awards events and stuff like that. In order to be able to deliver. So yeah, traveling up, and I've just come back from Mexico. I did 57 workshops in 17 schools in Mexico. Yeah.
Okay, so my question now is, where can we get your book?
The book is in the making. I've just finished my hip hop EP.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's I had to make sure that, because I kept on putting off the hip hop for a minute, so I had to sit down and say, okay, focus on one project. So the next project will be the written work, but I had to get down the hip hop. So I've just finished my EP, and it was supposed to be out in April, but because of this situation, we had to rejig the date.
Okay, so what's the name of the EP, and why did you do this EP?
The EP at the moment doesn't have a title.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I've got 3 titles that I'm running with right now, for different reasons. So they're still kind of playing. I think it's amazing how, because of the extended date, I got to play. The original title was personal. Yeah. Because the EP this time is me opening up a lot more and sharing, I guess, personal stories, things that I've gone through. Like one of the songs is dedicated to my English teacher.
Man, you're a celebrity, man. You need to give us some EPs out here, B.
I'll send you.
You know, I always hit you up out here, B. You're a celebrity. You're famous out here, bro.
Definitely.
Yeah, you send it to us, so we can put it on the website.
One of the tracks is called A Decent Path, and what it is my English teacher called me one day, and I missed his call, and I called him back, and I didn't get him. So I've got a voice recording of him, and then a few weeks later I heard he passed, and in the voice note he's basically saying, yo, I see you're a storyteller and I'm proud of you and I love what you're doing. And it was such a touching, like, you know, piece of, you know, piece to be able to save, to be like, we missed each other, but I've got that voice of my English teacher from school sending me a message saying he's proud of me and what I'm doing. And that means so much to me.
No, come on.
Wow.
Come far, bro.
That's deep, bro. That's deep.
Come far, man. Big him up. His name, man. Rest in peace.
His name's Mr. Decent Henry.
No, I mean, rest in peace, Mr. Decent Henry, man.
Brother from St. Vincent. When I tell you, none of the teachers in school liked him because he was hardcore.
Be careful when you say on radio, you know, the teachers that might be listening, bro.
Listen, when I tell you, Mr. Like, but I'll just give you an example of his character. He was the type of teacher who, he saw a student on road one day, yeah, about 2 a.m, said, get in the car, took them home, yeah. Then after another student had left school, so he saw the mum of the student and was like, how's your son doing? Like, I wish you could come and speak to him. He's just in bed all day, he doesn't do anything. Man went down to his house the next day, woke him up out of bed, get up, we're going to sign up for a college course. Today that student is a teacher.
What?
Teachers, yeah. So there were so many things. And you know when you thought that it was like it was just you. This dude he just touched so many lives, and he was he was on a dialysis machine. He had kidney issues, and what he would do, he would send dialysis machines back home to St. Vincent because they didn't have facilities over there. Like, this dude he's a hero, Mr. Decent Henry. He changed his name to Decent. Like, it was on his credit card.
Decent. He's a decent guy.
Man.
Nah, definitely. Nah, brother, real brotherhood right there, you know.
Man.
Nah, big him up, though. But you need that, man. We need that. You know what? That's what I'm saying. You're one of the, like, elevators for the young people coming up. So, as you say, to anybody else, you know what I mean? Like, all of us are trying to do whatnot. Like, whatever we're doing, like, trying to elevate, and, like, it's like, what messages do you have for these young people? Because I feel like I spreaded a lot of messages, and I end up saying so many different things, and, you know, we need to keep them uplifted. Do you get what I mean? What would you give, like, what would you say to them to keep their minds up and uplifted, and just don't go down the wrong route, and, like, forget the simple little things, like, don't chill with this one, don't do that, you know, don't go to this, like, just what would you feel like is like, from your heart, from you, like, what's your message to spread to the young people, like, coming up that are listening?
Can I share a quick story?
Go on, my brother.
Story.
Story. This one's a quick one.
No, man, make it a long one. Hey, brethren, you see when you say your stories, man, you make me feel like I'm sitting around a campfire in Africa, brethren. Serious thing, without a
Bro,
spot.
we're on a digital campfire right now.
Yeah, man, this is real, brethren.
We still got 15 minutes. Don't watch that. There's a whole heap of it. We need more fire. Go on.
There's a story about a snail.
Yeah.
And this snail took 7 years to cross the road. 7 years. As soon as this snail got to the other side, a big, massive, gigantic tree fell down and landed. Boom! And it just missed the snail. Well, the snail turned around. Just to turn around, it took him 2 weeks. The snail turned around, looked at the tree, and said, phew! It sure is good to be fast. Now, the beautiful thing of that story is when I ask the children in the schools and I say, was the snail slow or was the snail fast? And they start arguing. No, the snail was slow. No, the snail was fast. And then you get a conversation going about if the snail is slow. Now, obviously, because I've said snail, automatically it's like they assume slow. And then there's somebody who will go, yeah, but the tree missed it, so therefore it was fast. And essentially what I get to teach them at the end is to say, it's okay to go at your own pace.
Yeah, it's true.
So we can all be thinking that somebody's better than me because they can do this better than I can, or they can do this quicker than I can. And I'm like, no. It's okay to go at your own pace. Just don't let the tree hit you, but move at you know what I mean? Move at your pace. So in other words, you might not be as good a reader as somebody else. You can use this moment in time now to pick up a simple picture book or a comic and read at your own pace. Go at your own, and you will get better at reading. If it's a case where you want to pick up the guitar, you know what I mean, stringing away at one string for a week or 2 weeks, you're like, I'm not getting any better. And then one day, you realize you're doing it and you're not even looking at the guitar.
You've woken up now, isn't it?
You know what I mean? You've stayed constant in moving at your own pace. And I think it's very important, especially as somebody who's growing up. All the time I'll be compared to my cousin whose room was cleaner than mine, somebody who was smarter than me, and it just used to make me feel inadequate. So to now be able to go around and say, hey, listen, I know at times you get compared with other people, just do you. But as long as you're putting in the work, and don't let it be a case where you're not doing nothing.
Do you know what I love, yeah? What you spoke about, the main point of it for the whole night, if I do may say so myself, right? You see that, yeah? You see the bars I came with. If I do may say so myself, I'll say it again. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm at it. But no, for real, if I do may say, like, myself, right, it's like, you've touched on the topic of, like, finding yourself and being happy within yourself, and rather than following, and that's the picture that you're trying to plant towards for the youths and for anyone, not just the youths, the grown-ups, anyone going through a situation where they feel like, oh, I'm stuck, I may need help, I may need that person, I may need this, I may need that. Like, once you find yourself, and you're happy within yourself, you're going to exceed. Whether or not, you're going to exceed because you've got it in within yourself. And once you find it, it's never going away. It's like riding a bike or learning to ride a bike, they say, right? Once you learn to ride a bike, you can't forget how to ride a bike.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like that's what the point that in my eyes kind of what you're coming across and what you're trying to put across, and it's like for the young people, like find yourself, find like where you're happiest at most, no matter what anyone does say. Like, forget your friends, forget the peer pressure. That's what I say. Forget the family pressure. Forget you always remember these things, but at times forget them when you're alone, yeah? And forget what the world is saying to you. And the world is telling you, do this, do that. Find yourself, be happy within yourself in order for you to succeed. And I believe that like, if I am on the same page, that is a very strong message, because a lot of us, this is where we go wrong. Am I right in saying?
No, definitely. And realizing, I don't know if and even just realizing who you are. You know what I mean? Like when you find out or you read something like your heart beats like 2 gallons of blood every minute. That's over 100 gallons every hour.
Some people are not that educated, you know.
But I'm just saying that just how amazing you are.
Yeah.
There's forces working for you and on your behalf. You know what I mean? Like that's like what 10,000 times a day. Your heartbeat 10,000 times a day.
That's like mad.
Mental. What is it? Wait, hold on. Let me look this up. 40 million times a year. 40 million times a year, and that's without you. That's without you even thinking about it.
It's beating right now like 10,000 times.
No, 10,000 times a day, bro. Do you know how blessed and beautiful and powerful you are? Only something special can have that.
That's why, you know what, on a level, it's a Thursday, and I would like to say claps to the NHS because we're going through it and they're helping. And like I mentioned at the start of the session, like, you know, they're doing the most. And no matter how many deaths, where they're coming from, all over the country, like the NHS are doing the most to help. And even if they say whether it's the BAME people or it's these people or it's that person, this person, that labeling, there's no labels. Everybody that's working deserves the same treatment. Do you understand? That's where I come from. That's the level of mindset I come from, and that's the level of growth I've come from. Yeah, because I've had to experience my own situations with the health. You know what I mean? Like the NHS, like, so I like to thank them, and on that level, like, you know what? I want to thank everyone that's listened. I want to thank like Alim Kamara, you give them, tell them how to find you, man. Where they're gonna find you, you know what I mean? Like how, yeah, man. What's your next project? Obviously, we're going through this. Wait, can I ask you a question though?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get you on tour for my 2020 tour?
Are you ready, bruv?
I'm joking, for my 2030, because it has to be 2030, 2050 maybe, innit?
What do you mean? Why that far?
No, because I don't know when this is gonna finish.
Do you realize you just said 2030? It's like 10 years away.
I'm playing with you, man. I'm saying to you what, like, because this is what I'm saying. This is what we're going through. We don't even know what date to set dates, bruv. You're telling me you can do you're telling me like Corona can come out through the internet because you can't even set through your you can't even do your mixtape or your album because it's like, yeah, man.
The album's done. It's done.
Alright, cool, guys. He's gonna release it.
We're just kind of debate because what it is I was supposed to be in Sierra Leone, so we were meant to go and shoot music videos to accompany the music. So the shift of everything, that's where we're like, alright, cool. Like, do we wait to see if we drop it or should we just drop some singles for now? So it's kind of just going back and forth and just trying to decide what to do next. Like, what's the best strategy?
Nah, definitely, man. I'll definitely have you on my tour anyway, man, without fail, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Oh, thank you, bro. Thank you.
Give them your last thing, know where to find you, bro. I don't know if you didn't say it before, or where they can find you. You didn't say it.
Yeah, everywhere is Alim Kamara. That's ALIM from Mike, KAMARA. Instagram, Facebook, website alimkamara.com. So everywhere is Alim Kamara.
You hear that, people? That's who? Alim who?
Kamara. And if you forget, just remember, I'm leaning on your camera.
I lean it on your. I like that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna say, no, bless, man. You got anything to say for Alim now?
Yeah, man. It's been a pleasure listening to you. I mean, you're the first person that's come on that I haven't really asked a lot of questions. I was more interested in listening to you.
Thank you, brother.
You know, I mean, it's a pleasure to know that the younger generation are so mature and they're so advanced. It makes you just proud just to listen to them. And you made me a proud man today. Listening, you made me feel like all of this work, what I've done for Bless, you're one of the guys that made it feel worthwhile. Just by listening to what you say and the stories and the input that you have put into the children as well.
I'm looking forward to when this is done to come into the studio, brother, because it's weird how we can be speaking and be feeling each other's energy.
Yeah, you know, brother.
yeah, it's real, man. But Bertrand, you're making me. When I'm listening to you, it's like I'm sitting with the ancestors, bro, and I'm just here you know what I mean, around the campfire, and we're listening to your story, and you just made me feel connected, and you made me feel like all this work that I've done since 1995, I've been doing this, and you're one of the guys that make it feel worthwhile.
Love, brother, man.
You understand? So may God bless you what you're doing, and bless your hands and the words. May the words of your mouth and the meditation of your heart be acceptable in His sight. You know, because you're blessed. You're blessed.
Man, give thanks.
Yeah, when you get a copy of the album, we want a cover of it to put on our website.
Oh, love, man.
Yeah, man, and anything we can do for you, just check Alim. You know what I mean? You got free advertising, free anything that you want, man. We give it to you. You can't have my woman, but you can have everything else.
Alim's married, you know.
Yeah, that's good, man. It's just a joke, my friend. Don't take it serious, man.
I don't know where you got that information from.
Oh, what? You're single? I big Alim, you know. 0755679. Get me.
My man get divorced already, boy. He's single already.
07223. I'll be the guy that's there. You get me standing there with my, my suit and that. Yeah, man. Nah, definitely.
After Corona, we'll find the queen. After
the Corona, you'll find the queen, yeah?
All of the queens listening, you know what? You come to him, but don't come with Corona.
Okay, but did you know Corona was the name of a fizzy drink?
No, I didn't. I know it's in the back of some. Oh, fizzy drink?
Yeah, Corona was the Corona is the name of a fizzy drink. When I was going to school, they had a fizzy drink called Corona.
Mad thing.
Google it and you'll see it. Google it.
All of us have consciously stayed away from going down that road. This is like the off. You're about to do the offline conversation.
Oh, good. You're making no one go next to that seat.
That's the offline convo.
I don't even want the cake, bro. I don't even want the cake.
This is where you just leave the phone in the next room and we just whisper.
Nah, for real, man. I tell you what it was. There used to be these fizzy drinks and they're called Corona. And you used to get money back for bringing the bottles. When you get the bottles, you bring them back to the shop and they give you money for the empty bottles. They're called Corona.
What do you mean?
Yeah?
What do you mean? No way.
Seriously. Yeah, honestly. Seriously. Real talk. Yeah, Corona was the name of a fizzy drink.
Oh God, and this came out no, I'm glad I wasn't in England at this time, I was back in Africa, but we didn't see that. Nah,
man, that word's been around for a long time. If you do your research, you will feel like you will understand the whole thing, but we're not going to go too much into that, but I'm just letting you know, when I first heard it, it was a fizzy drink.
Oh my God, you just silenced Karim for the first time. Alim just got silenced the whole time.
No, it's alright, man. He's just thinking about his bride after the Corona. After the Corona, he will get his bride, so he's alright. He's cool.
Hey, Alim, so you're telling me you're looking for a chick called Corona, yeah? Say nothing.
So.
Say nothing. I'll try to hook you up. Hey, Corona, phone into the radio station. No, I'm joking. Don't do that. I have done that, so you guys, man, it's been a great show. Thank you for all the listeners. Yeah. Thank you for Bless. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? As always.
Yeah,
come on,
it's
man.
A pleasure,
give him a message there, B.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man.
100%, man.
And thank you again, my brethren, because as I said, you've made everything worthwhile, and those stories that you've told, I mean, they're precious, man. They're precious, They're very precious.
I'll come to the studio. I'll drop some longer ones.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
If you got any on audio, have you got them on audio? We can play them.
Yeah, I'll send you some. So text me an email and I'll shoot some over.
Yeah, send them all, man. We play them every day, man.
Guys, you realize you're on air, innit? You can do this off air, innit?
No, we play them every day. We put them in the playlist and play them every day. People can hear the stories every day.
Cool. No, 100%, man.
Cool, man.
Big up, 100%.
Let's get it.
Therefore, do you know what? Next week, yeah, people, for all the listeners, tune in next week. We're gonna have Jermaine Hunter on, like, you know what I mean? Oscar, he's not Oscar winning yet, but you know what? Jay's there. Jay's been doing bits. He's literally on the verge of like getting an Oscar. He's been in movies with Idris Elba, you know, like red carpet, like movies, Attack the Block. He's been on TV, The Bill. He's done all sorts, so many big things, massive, amazing things. Like, and he's a young brother as well. He does youth work a lot as well. Like, he's worked along with me on some subjects, on some you know, like events and stuff. And he's a massive young brother that you guys need to hear from, and he talks a lot of sense. Like, you know what, similar to Alim. They're educated, man, like, and they're on the path, like the path to greatness. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be on that. I'm trying to get on their level. You know what I mean? I'm still a little bit behind, because obviously them guys look at me like, LIMZ, is it really? Like, but at the same time, Alim, don't say nothing. But at the same time, obviously, you know, I'm just here. But yeah, man, nah, definitely next week we've got like Jermaine Hunter coming on. Like, you can check him out. From Attack the Block, from so many movies. Just type his name in, Jumayn, you know, like Hunter, Jermaine Hunter, big boy, like one of my bros, good bros, and he's massive, like, and he's done so many things. It's Hollywood, man, Hollywood based, man. He's done things with all these big artists that you can. Do you know what? I don't want to big him up too much, because he'll have to talk about it next week. Do you know what I mean? And big himself up. But definitely listen out for that next Thursday, 8 till 10. Bless Radio 1 Extra, or Bless Radio 1. Am I right, Bless?
Yeah, no, it's just blessradio.co.uk or Bless Extra. Yeah, Bless Radio 1. Bless Radio 1 is the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Definitely. You guys heard that. Make sure you check out Alim Kamara. Alim, tell him.
Yes, Alim Kamara.
So Kamara.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Alim, and anybody can download the show after today. You can download the show from YouTube, so we can start sending it. You can send it to your brethrens and things. So if you know, I mean, I'd like a nice photo of you to put on the front of the video, so we can post it out to people.
All right, yeah, just shoot me over an email. Just send that to you straight away.
Yeah, I make LIMZ send you the email address, and you send us something, and we just put it up. Yeah, nice talking to you, my friend. I could talk to you all day, man. I could talk to you all day. I could hear your stories all day. Your Anansi story. Okay. Story. Yeah, man. I love that, man.
Come on, man.
Okay.
Definitely. Thank you lot for listening, and thank you for Bless, and thank you, Alim Kamara. Definitely. You lot check out Alim Kamara. Everything, YouTube, Facebook. Tell him Alim, everything, man.
Yeah, man. It's just Alim Kamara, and I'll come up.
Definitely. And then Bless Radio.
Yeah. All right, then. In a minute.
Okay.
Definitely.
One love.
All right, one love. Take care. So, LIMZ, you take care, bro.
Yeah.
We're going to play some music now, and next week, as I say, after today, we'll play. Yeah, have you got the email address, LIMZ, that you can give it to him so he can send the photos? Hello? You see, he's gone, you know. These guys can't wait to do. All right.